His girlfriend came across a needle and soon she did the same. At home there are 17-year-old boys and their idea of fun is being in a gang called the Disciples High on Crack, total machine gun. What's up? Good afternoon from New York City, from New Islamabad, according to some of you. How is everything going? It is America Unplugged. The War on Reality report. Things are happening. Things are hitting the fan. And maybe we have some resistance, which is good. What's up, Don? The legendary no Tony Arterburn today. Tony is doing something cool. He's trying to find the fountain of youth. I told him that if anybody was going to find the fountain of youth, it would be him, and he decided to go ahead and find it. And we're going to sell little vials of water from the fountain of youth here on America Unplugged in order to raise some money. So if you are interested in living forever, let me know. Don Jeffries, what's up? Good to see you, sir. How are you?
Good. Yeah, it was interesting. We live in interesting times, so we'll be talking about the big election. I don't know, was it the most historic election of our lives? Because everyone is, I hear. So I guess it was the most important election of our lifetimes. But yeah, always good to be with you guys. Good to see the audience out here on Saturdays.
All right, good job. Thank you for being here. Chris Graves is joining us this week. Tony asked him to fill in, and he is here. What's up, Chris Graves? How are you, buddy? Say what's up to the people.
Hey, people. How you doing? Good to be here.
Good to see you, bud. We have quite a few things to talk about, of course. We can talk about the election. We can talk about New York, and how everyone seemed to think that this was the most important election of all time, and New York is going to go away now. It's going to fall apart. It's over. New York. It's gone, because they're going to start building mosques all over the place. By the way, there's mosques all over the place in New York already. Heads up. And they've been here for quite some time. But what's been most eye-opening to me about this entire experience from 2016 up until right now is seeing people's true colors. It's still shocking to me to this day to see how many people came out and said, I thought we were never supposed to forget about 9/11. And that shit's still going on right now. Sean Hannity said it a couple of days ago. He was like, how? I thought we were never supposed to forget about 9/11, yet we New York has elected this man to be the mayor of New York. What does one have to do with the other? Besides that he is a Muslim. He's 33 years old. He's going to bring in Sharia law. I've been hearing about Sharia law since I've been listening to Alex Jones. Sharia law is coming. Sharia law is coming. Sharia law is coming. Mamdani was literally hanging out at a gay club with trannies last week. What kind of Sharia law is he going to bring in? Let's start thinking about this critically and remove our emotions from this. We could talk about socialism. He's not even a socialist. He's a democratic socialist, which is a different thing. Regardless. We could talk about socialism. We could talk about communism. We could talk about capitalism, all of these things. What we should be talking about is what's best for us as a people. What better serves the people? I don't care where it comes from. If some aspects of capitalism fit us best, we should be for it. We shouldn't be held in a box. Just capitalism, just socialism. We shouldn't be held in a box. We should be allowed to pick and choose from any box that we want, as long as it's beneficial to the country and beneficial to the working people of this country. And that is 99% of us. So we should start thinking in that direction. Don Jeffries, the legendary. How are you?
Good. Well, I wrote about this on Substack and just published it yesterday. And again, I think it's the name calling is good. It's predictable name calling, and whatever Mondami is, and I'm suspicious of any of these guys that come out of nowhere, and because I think there are always powers behind them. But we'll see what he does. But it's brought out a lot of the nonsense on the right in terms of saying, what about 9/11? First of all, even if you accept the absurd official fairy tale of 9/11, which no one should that's ever investigated it, why would you blame this guy? It's like, so you're blaming all Muslims or all? I mean, I don't even know what country he originally comes from, but
Uganda.
Yeah, okay, Uganda. That's right, exactly. So was Uganda involved in 9/11? I don't know, but I mean, it's the same thing. Why we went to why not?
Right.
And but so this is the problem, that kind of thinking. So you have basically two inaccuracies. One is you're bringing up the 9/11 story, which is completely false. We know it wasn't crazed Arabs or whatever, wherever they claimed it was. It certainly wasn't terrorists. It was an inside job, and everybody knows that who's looked at the evidence. So you don't get that, and it lasts out. And again, so much of this is due to the power of Zionism. Zionism has a yeah, Brian Taylor. Hey, Brian Taylor's right about price controls in grocery stores. But I mean,
Yeah,
you can go back to
and
Nixon.
my
Nixon
point,
had
right,
price controls at some
my point with that is, what's wrong with that, Brian? What is wrong with that? What is so fundamentally wrong with that we need to shun this? How does this hurt us as a people? It only helps. So what's wrong with this? I don't understand. I don't understand. I'm not saying that you think there's something wrong with it, but you're mentioning it for some reason. Just because it's socialist doesn't mean that it's bad. I'm sorry, Don. Go ahead.
No, and whatever he does, if he does any of this stuff, I doubt he'll be able to get much of this stuff done. But if he does,
right,
then again, this is if it turns out to be bad. Again, the right and the establishment has no one but themselves to blame. I'm surprised we don't have more socialists or more Muslims or more whatever all over the country getting elected. And you're gonna. We just had a Muslim woman elected lieutenant, attorney general in my state. So it's going to happen more because and these people came here legally. This is our immigration policy. You all wanted to open the doors and you wanted a multicultural society. So now you got to deal with maybe different ideas. I don't think it'll be different, but if it is, you have to offer an alternative. If your alternative in New York City was Andrew Cuomo again,
disgusting.
That's your alternative. I mean, you saw what he did.
Right.
He was responsible for how many deaths in the nursing homes alone. And this guy is a mobster wannabe that goes back to his dad, and his odious brother. This is a horrible family. But so you know what you're getting there. You don't know what you're getting with this guy. But people keep going. And in a different way, this is what the appeal of Trump was. People were hoping he'd be different.
Very good
And he'd
point.
do some, and so this is what you're looking for. They hope because you have problems there. And as I wrote in my Substack article, he ran his campaign around affordability. And he talked about affording things, which Trump claimed he was going to cut prices and everything in his first day. And obviously that hasn't happened. So and I said, if you're running on affordability and you have a whole lot of people who are affected by that, who can't afford things, why wouldn't they be attracted to that message? What is the alternative message of that? That we remember 9/11? We can't have a Muslim in there again. You open the doors here. If you're saying, then it's kind of what you saw with JFK back in 1960, where that you had people that wouldn't vote for him because he was a Catholic and said that the Vatican was going to control him. He confronted that, and this is a little different, but it's the same kind of thing. You can't reject somebody just because they are a Muslim or they're whatever. And that's what seems to be the case here. And again, a lot of it is Zionist driven. I think it's important. And I hope that it further exposes Zionist control because the Zionists are very upset. And again, I think this is probably all theater, but to whatever degree this guy might really change things, especially if he doesn't go to the Wailing Wall, I'm personally, if I was a betting man, I'd be taking odds on how long it takes him to get to the Wailing Wall. And I think that'll be, if he doesn't go there, good for him. I don't know. I'll give him credit, but he's facing a lot of pressure. You have Jews threatening to leave New York, or just like you had the celebrities threatening to leave Hollywood when Trump, was elected, and they never left. I don't think the Jews are going to leave New York either. But this shows the Zionist control. The main reason they're upset at him, they would not be upset at any other non-white, or like say, I don't know, if somebody, I don't know, maybe an African warlord, I don't know, but they don't want somebody that might be considered an enemy of Israel. And when this guy won the election, so, and again, you know what I think of elections. I don't know whether they're counting the votes at all. Who knows? But assuming they are, he won the election in that first debate, or the only debate I saw, when they asked all the candidates, "What country are you going to visit after which is a stupid question to ask. Why would you ask a mayor candidate, you know, what country are you going to visit after getting elected? Obviously, it was softball, so they all could shout Israel the loudest. Nobody was thinking of going anywhere else. And this guy gave the perfect answer. He said, "Well, I'm not going anywhere. I'm here to serve the people of New York." You can't come up with a better answer than that. So whenever he is, that was the perfect answer. And I don't know how many votes he got with that answer, but he probably got a lot of them. So we'll see. Again, I'm sure the chat's going to think I'm a fan. I'm a fan of this guy. I think he's probably installed like all the rest of these people are. But to sit there and just go crazy, I think nothing different will happen. So I think people reacted. They're doing it because he's a Muslim, and they think, oh, they're going to be, and this is all, again, Zionist propaganda. The mosques are going to go up everywhere. And as Billy Ray said, they're already there. And Sharia law, and I don't know what the hell Sharia law is, but we're supposed to be scared of it. I don't know exactly what I don't think this guy's going to institute it, but I think this is just kind of hysteria, and but it makes things interesting. So we'll have to watch and see what he actually does.
It's Sharia law and the trannies. I mean, he's going to merge them together somehow, and it's going to be a nightmare. It's already a nightmare in Texas, twisted all the way in Texas. He's telling me right now, what is it? Firsthand experiencing the destruction of Texas by Mamdani out there and in the rest of the United States. It's ridiculous what he has done. He just got elected, and the United States is falling apart. New York is rotting. People are leaving here in droves. People are leaving, and they're going to God knows where. West Bubblefuck. I don't know, but they're leaving because of Mamdani. They've been running these plays for quite some time. They've been saying, Sharia law is coming. Everybody's leaving New York. Stuff like that for quite some time. Alex Jones running the martial law thing, which might actually be a thing now, but in a totally different way, and he's supporting it. But this stuff has been going around these circles for quite some time, given what is it? CMP and Heritage Foundation style propaganda, that they've been scaring the shit out of people for a long, long time. And that's how they fueled their voter base. And if you're honest with yourself and you go back and look at these things, you will figure out real quickly that you're being manipulated, that fear is the currency that these people abide by. This is what they do. They scare the shit out of you. And 9 times out of 10, it's unwarranted. So don't worry about New York, guys. We're going to be just fine. And when Mamdani's here, it's going to be just fine. And when he leaves, it's going to be just fine. Until Trump tries to come in here with the military. And I hope that Mamdani at least attempts to stand up to it, which he said he plans on doing. But to your point, Don, and then I'm coming to Chris, I think it's going to be very difficult for him to get a lot of these things done. Not only does he have the witless MAGAs, against him. Not only does he have Donald Trump and the federal government against him, but he has a lot of his own party against him. Kathy Hochul here, the governor of New York has said that she was not going to let him do some of the things that he wants to do. So there's already, a lot of friction going on. She's up for re-election in a year. She's running against Elise Stefanik, who is a MAGA cult member, sycophant. If there ever was one, she shouldn't win here, but we can apply pressure to Hochul during that time in order to give her our support. It won't just come willy-nilly. Some of these things that Mamdani wants to implement that benefit the people should get done. I don't know about the policing aspect of it. There's some questions there. Although I think they've been blown out of proportion largely by the right, by John Birch Society style propaganda, that they've been putting out there for years, since the 50s, guys, that we've been manipulated by these people here in the alternative, in conspiracy culture, all of it. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing it firsthand. For those that have eyes to see and ears to hear, you're seeing it unfold in front of you firsthand with Zorhan Mamdani. He's 33 years old. I think he still has vigor. He still has, he hasn't been beaten down by the world in a way that you're like, politics suck and I can't do anything. He still thinks that something can be done. Who am I to stop the guy? Let's see what he gets done. Let's see what he does. We have to hold him accountable like we would anyone else. So as soon as he fucks up on something, we hold him accountable, and we want what he promised. But he's gonna meet a lot of resistance. So let's keep that in mind. Also, somebody said in the chat, I think it was Jackson, about the free supermarkets, the government-run supermarkets, and he said something about the supply chain and how that you're not understanding how this works. These are going to be local growers, local farmers that are going to supply these stores. There's only going to be 5 of them, 1 in each borough, and it's a pilot program. If it doesn't work, they're not going to go with it. So there's going to be 1 in each borough, and they're going to see how it works. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. It's going to go away. But thank you, Jackson, for your contributions. The audiovisual department of America Unplugged. Things went smoothly today, I think, sir. You let us know. Chris Graves, I don't know if you've been following any of this. Go ahead.
I just wish these public figures would stop invoking 9/11 in their speeches, to be honest with you.
Good.
Unless you're going to shed some light on, evidence throughout the years or supporting some kind of new investigation, I wish they would just leave it alone, in my opinion. Mamdani, on a side note, I noticed Bill Maher last night on his program, Real Time, had referred to Mamdani as a communist Democrat, which I found interesting, that he would use that label. So I'm not sure what to make of that. But people should stop using 9/11 for all this stuff. Because even if you remember, about 10 years ago with the Sony hack that they said North Korea was involved with, hacking Sony pictures because of the Seth Rogen, James Franco movie, The Interview. They kept saying that, oh yeah, it's going to be a new 9/11. They kept invoking 9/11 and all these threats and everything. I just wish 9/11, unless you're seriously looking for some kind of new investigation that has subpoena power and stuff, I wish these people would just stop invoking that day.
And that's a good point. And largely 9/11 as an investigation is dead, right? It's been forgotten. It's like, I think even JFK had a longer run, because when I was a kid and when I was a teenager, you still saw JFK investigate. You still see it, actually. Oh, what happened with JFK investigations, even on the History Channel? They might be bullshit, but you see it there, right? It's still a thing. You don't see that with 9/11 at all. I think it's largely dead. 9/11 truth is dead for the most part, also, in my opinion. But so they weren't invoking anything until it was convenient for them to invoke it. And I don't know who was the first, but it caught fire. And it's a talking point, right? And this is what people do. They listen to these things. I was talking to my wife yesterday, about my journey and conspiracy and all of this. And I was telling them, and I've said this before to some of my friends, I was like, when I was a conspiracy theorist, I'm still a conspiracy theorist to a degree, but what I'm saying, when I was coming into the knowledge, I had to find books, and like I would come outside in the Bronx, and there were street vendors there, and they were selling New World Order by Ralph Epperson and Behold a Pale Horse. And I mean, they had a bunch of them, right? And then I would go to Harlem to find more because they had them in Harlem, and I would go to conferences to see, and this stuff interested me, and I wanted to know. So I would put in the work to know these things. And my wife was like, yeah, I remember. My wife's been with me for most of my life. So she's like, I remember, what you used to do, and all this other stuff. Today's conspiracy theorist, which is largely sides on with MAGA, because that's the new breed. That's what's been co-opted. That it's that they just go to Instagram, they go to TikTok, and they get these things, and they're like, oh, that sounds right, and they go with it, and that's it. They don't have to put in any work. They don't even have to go look for it. It comes to them. It comes to them, and then they see things like, remember 9/11, but they're electing Mamdani, and clearly they forgot about 9/11. So, and they were like, yeah, that's a good thing because socialism is bad. I don't know shit about socialism, right? Most MAGAs don't know a damn thing about socialism, right? They just freaking don't. But they're quick to denounce it because it's what they've been told to do, and they're quick to denounce, to say that 9/11 has something to do with this because it sounds about right, to them. And they just run with it. So that's why it's spread, Chris. And you bring up a really good point. Like, stop it, because you don't know shit that you're talking about. You don't know nothing about 9/11. Most of these people don't anyway.
And they don't even realize that socialism includes the fire department.
Yeah,
that's socialism
right there. I mean,
police department, yeah.
But God forbid you put it in those contexts, because people will start freaking the fuck out. Final words, buddy. And then I'm going to go to Don for his thoughts on some of this, and then we'll switch it up. Go ahead, buddy.
No, yeah, I found it interesting that of all people, like Bill Maher would label this guy a democratic communist. I'm not sure.
A democratic socialist, right?
No. Go
communist?
back with that. Yeah, with Real Time last night, Real Time with Bill Maher on Friday nights, right? HBO. He labeled him as a democratic communist,
okay.
Not a socialist even.
All right.
And I found that interesting. I don't know. I'm not really the biggest Bill Maher fan, but that stood out to me.
I haven't watched Bill Maher in quite some time. I should, but I'm not a massive fan either. But I should just tune in to see what's coming out of there. All right, Don, closing thoughts on this. I want to move on to a couple of other things. Somebody wants to talk about the J6 pipe bomb revelations.
Yeah, actually, two people do. My cousin Carson, I guess, and I got cousin Hakeem in Congress. So we don't talk about him much, though. He's talking about how he got in the family.
We don't talk about him much in New York either, buddy.
He's done better than most of us. I give him that. But and Jackson D. Barrett also wanted me to. And Jackson D. Barrett also said, he's like, dare me say it, Don, the Muslims were the patsies for 9/11. I mean, have you read my work? I mean, you really think I think Muslims did it? Of course they were. And they're still being unfairly blamed, as has happened right here. Obviously, it was an inside job, as Alex Jones used to say. I think that's the best way to describe it. I don't know that much about. I've heard a little bit about the pipe. I know about the pipe bomb before. It was ridiculous. So they videotaped the guy, and the cops stood there and did nothing. I mean, it's obviously something weird going on there, but these guys probably know more than I do about it. So I'm not sure what the revelation has been, but it does, whatever it is, it doesn't surprise me, because I think obviously it was not a legitimate pipe bomber walking up that they couldn't catch. I think about all that stuff is part, another kind of more inside job stuff. But I think that
didn't this pipe bomber supposedly place pipe bombs in front of not only the DNC but the RNC headquarters, as well?
Yeah, it was supposedly why Kamala Harris was in the building, or she claims she wasn't. I can't remember all the stuff, but it's like anything else. These official narratives are ridiculous, and that's why anybody trying to, if your answer to, and as Chris Buchan shockingly has reminded us that, Adolf Hitler had National Socialism, and that was considered all the way on the right. So, socialism means different. That my boy Huey Long, was certainly looked to be doing socialist stuff, but the American socialists and the American communists hated him because he was actually doing, getting things done. But Jack T. Barrett, the willful ignorance here is astounding. Get up to speed. I can't study everything. I haven't looked at that pipe bomb thing. You obviously know what I've written about it, Jackson. I'm obviously with it. I don't think it's legitimate. I just don't know. I don't want to speak about something if I don't know the actual identity of something.
Don't even pay him any
I
mind.
know. I don't know why I pay that much attention to these guys. It's just the way it is. But so again, it all goes back to whatever this guy is, and I don't think he's legitimate. But if he was a fire-breathing radical Muslim that went and prayed, all the time in mosques and did everything and was pointed a particular way. But, I don't know that much about if he says, praise Allah all the time, I don't know. But whatever it is, that there's no answer to just make fun of that and just say, how could he be doing that? Because you've got atheists, plenty of atheists that have served in public office, I think. And as many people have pointed out, Muslims, the Muslims I've talked to, and I've known quite a few because my sister married an Iranian, so I've known lots of Iranians, although most of them aren't really religious. But the ones I've known have nothing but good things to say about Jesus Christ. They revere Jesus Christ. They don't accept it. They just believe in Muhammad as well. But the Jews, on the other hand, hate Jesus Christ, the ones that are really religious, and rejected him. So if you're going to go after a group, if you're a Christian, and you're upset, the Muslims are much closer to you than Jews are. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to go after anybody for that, but your answer can't be just, oh my God, we're going to have Sharia law. Remember 9/11. That's no answer. That's no, if he does something, and how the problem is when you have a situation that when the economy is this bad, when things are this bad, somebody steps in to try to change things. It's going to be hard for him to screw it up more than it is. I mean, maybe he can. I don't know, but I don't know what happened. If you have government-run grocery stores, how can it make it that much better? We have how many trillions in debt are we? The money's fake anyhow. What could happen that's so bad? So I would not be against it because your ideas haven't worked, and you can't. You have to come up with some answer other than more money for Israel, tax cuts for the wealthy. That's their only answer. They have nothing else. And so
funny, Don.
come up with an alternative here.
You sparked something in my mind just now, Don, man. It's so funny because, the people, especially MAGAs and right-wing types, freaking blow up about these supermarkets, like losing their freaking mind about it, right? But they want their Doge checks. They're like, that's my president. So you're cool with the handouts. You're cool with the handouts as long as they're coming from Donald Trump, right? As long as they're coming from MAGA, you're cool with it. Right. I don't understand it. And the government run supermarkets are not handouts, by the way, but you will take money. You will take money from Doge, money that doesn't exist. You're still waiting for it. It's been 9 months. They owe us $7,000. Hey, I'll take it. I'm not making any bones about it.
Yeah.
But you're over here freaking saying, oh no, bad the supermarkets. No, oh no. Free buses. It's incredible. What are we doing?
Jeannie Poole in the chat, excuse me, just she clarified things. And I thought I'd heard, but I didn't want to speak on it if I wasn't knowledgeable. Apparently forensic evidence has identified the DC pop bomber as a former or a DC cop, and Thomas Massey posted it as well. So that's my boy.
I got this. There's nothing. There's nothing right now. They got nothing right now. It's who was it? It's Ed Martin who said, and they said in May that they were.
It was Ed Martin. Yes. Yep.
Yeah. They said in May that they were going to investigate J6 pipe bomber, which they should. They should be investigating all of this stuff, right? But now Ed Martin says we have big revelations. John Brissom sent me this. I should have asked him to come on.
Who's Ed Martin? I don't even know who that is. Who's Ed Martin?
Maybe. Hey, John, if you're available, I'll send you a link. If not, next week. But if you're available, let me know. Just text me. I'll check my phone and I'll send you a link. But he was the one who tweeted this out and said, yeah, hey, we have big revelations on the pipe bomber from J6. You're not going to believe what we have. We haven't seen shit yet, or anything credible. This is probably a bunch of provable nonsense. Of course, I want to see it first. Maybe they have something. Maybe they'll surprise me. But given the history of Kash Patel's FBI and anything that's been run by the Trump regime in the last 9 months, a la the Epstein files, which you were supposed to get revelations from for 2, and they're actively trying to cover that up, I don't think we're going to get much in the area of the pipe bomber that's legit. If they say that they found something, but who knows? Maybe they do.
Well, Billy Ray, just remember during the reporting of January 6th, which I was actually in communication with Don Jeffries, like through Facebook during January 6th. There were reports of like trucks like near the Capitol that were stacked with assault weapons and rifles and all this other stuff. Those reports went away just like the pipe bomber went away.
Yeah.
And I have to say that in terms of like surveillance, like on the planet, the Capitol, besides the Pentagon, aside from 9/11 or Las Vegas or anything, the Capitol building was probably the third most surveilled establishment, place on the planet. And the FBI had to know the movements of not only this pipe bomber that placed these explosives outside of both the RNC and the DMC. They had to know the movements of all these rogue actors. And so is it really shocking to people that they would release it now?
Yeah, well, let's see, right? Let's see what develops. Largely, that's all we have. There's not much to know here.
Well, Jeannie Poole says she would trust Thomas Massey over on me too. Thomas Massey posted it. I think he's the best we have. So I
don't dislike. Well, I don't agree with a lot of Thomas Massey, but at least he seems to have some integrity, right? There seems to be something there. Just because he posted doesn't mean shit. We need proof, and we should demand proof of all of this stuff. So
certainly
that's what I want to see. So I'm waiting to see what's going on with that. Thank you, Jeannie.
And the odds are we won't hear anything more about it. That's my prediction because that's been the case for pretty much. So we'll see. I don't trust the FBI either any more than you do.
It might be some time actually. I think you're right, Dinah. I think we will hear something about this, but I don't think it'll happen right away.
We'll hear more about,
and even if we hear something about it, I don't know what it's gonna lead to at the end of the day. Like that's the thing. What's up, Chris? What were you saying?
No, I'm saying we'll hear more about Nick Fuentes
before
any of that stuff.
Yeah. That guy is something else, bro. Oh my gosh. All right, check this. We have how much time? We got about 15 minutes left. I'm gonna play a clip for you guys. I was going to save it for Gorilla Underground tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you tune in because we're going to go in as usual. So make sure you are there for that. But I'm going to play this clip for you because, there's something wrong with Donald Trump, guys. I mean, we already know that. Some people are still fixated on Joe Biden and his cognitive decline, which was evident and admitted by all here on America Unplugged. But people don't want the same energy with Donald Trump for some reason. So Donald Trump is in power now, not Joe Biden. And we should hold him to the same level that we did Joe Biden. Anyhow, I hope this is the right clip. Because I want the whole thing. But here he is talking about how AOC and Jasmine Crockett are low IQ. But he said something here that we should all pay attention to. And I'm definitely going to cover it again on Gorilla Underground, but I wanted to cover it here for people that don't necessarily listen to me at 7 p.m. Eastern on Sundays. All right.
We're too late.
Let me take it back. All right.
Lay it out as soon as possible. We want to be too early. We're too late.
Sir, Steve Bannon said in a recent interview that there could be plans for you to be able to run and potentially win a third term in 2028.
All numbers I've ever had. I mean, I just solved 8 wars and a 9th is coming. I believe Russia was pretty amazing. amazing. We got a lot of good credit, and I really have to thank Malaysia for that because they're really the prime minister.
He's talking about all the wars that he solved, 9 or 10, depending on the day. He was talking about running again for office that Steve Bannon has said. We're going to cover Steve Bannon tomorrow night also, but I want to find a specific part of this. I just queued this up before the show. Hold on.
They are good people. Well, we have great people. I don't have to get into that, but we have one of them standing right here. We have JD, obviously. The vice president is great. I think Marco's great. I think, I'm not sure if anybody would run against us. I think if they ever formed a group, it would be unstoppable. Really
so right now he's talking about who he would, who would run in 2028. So Marco Rubio is smiling. He's smiling right now because he desperately wants to be the president of the United States, and Donald just pointed in his direction. But I think he's getting into it right now. So
I believe that. I would love to do it. I have my best numbers ever. It's very terrible. I have my best numbers.
Says he has the best numbers ever, but in all actuality, they are the worst numbers ever.
If you read it, am I not ruling it out? You'll have to tell me. All I can tell you is that we have a great group of people, which they don't. They have Jasmine Crockett, a low IQ person. They have AOC's low IQ. You give her an IQ test, have her pass like the exams that I decided to take when I was at work.
Pay attention here, guys. AOC, low IQ, Jasmine Crockett, low IQ. Have them pass the exams that I just took. So let's listen to it one more time.
The exams that I decided to take when I was at Walter Reed. I took an IQ test. Have her pass like the exams that I decided to take when I was at Walter Reed. Those are very hard. They're really aptitude tests, I guess, in a certain way, but they're cognitive tests. Let AOC go against Trump. Let Jasmine go against Trump. I don't think Jasmine, the first couple of questions are easy. A tiger, an elephant, a giraffe, When you get up to about 5 or 6, and then when you get up to 10 and 20 and 25, they couldn't come close to answering any of those.
All right, we can go back there and look at that. The first couple of questions are easy. A tiger, a lion, a bear. What the fuck, okay, was this guy thinking? Like somebody was in the back. And the thing is, right, his doctors know that he is crazy. Yeah. Freaking Marco Rubio knows that there's something wrong. He knows it. They have to know it. What he just said here. Okay.
You can see it on Marco's face.
He's like, what the fuck, dude? Shut the fuck up. What are you saying? So he's like, AOC is low IQ. Jasmine Crockett is low IQ. And whatever you think of them right now, that really doesn't matter. Right. Donald Trump is talking about a screening test that he took for cognitive decline at Walter Reed. That's what he's talking about. And it's a really simple exam. Most should be able to pass it. But he's talking about it as if it's like the hardest thing in the world and no one can pass it. Now, I just did it because I'm Donald Trump. This dude is going through clear cognitive decline. There's evidence of it everywhere. The test that he took was the MOCA test, right? That's what it's called. And it's a screening tool used to assess for mild cognitive impairment, a condition that can precede Alzheimer's disease amongst the other types of dementia. Here is the test. This is the test that he took. If you see the horse, the tiger, the duck, and he's talking about they can't beat Trump at this. I just took it. It was so difficult. This is what he thinks is. Why do his doctors think that he needs to do this, for one? And they ordered an MRI. And when asked what the MRI was for, Caroline Levitt said, "Oh, we don't know. We have to ask the doctors." and then we'll get back to you. And they never got back. And then so they went and asked the doctors about this shit. And the doctors never got back because they're not going to disclose this information. And if you're honest with yourself, it's the theme of the show. You know,
Billy, if you're the president of the United States, that should be public. 100%.
You're breaking up, buddy. What'd you say?
No, that should be public. That should be public knowledge.
I agree.
That should not be kept secret.
I agree. If you're the president, absolutely. I think it should be public for everyone, for every single president. Absolutely. I agree. When you become the president of the United States, you are the ultimate servant of the people. The people have the right to know every single thing about the person who is making the decisions on your behalf, in my opinion.
Me too.
So I'm with you on that. But it's clear that something is wrong with Donald Trump. It's been clear for quite some time, but now he's going in for physicals that he's supposed to have once a year. This was his second one. It probably wasn't a physical. They're lying to you. Something's wrong with this guy. All right. And he's talking about being able to punch out, to point out a duck and an elephant and a tiger as being an IQ test that he was so good at. Don Jeffries, what's up?
And I think, well, again, you're saying, and you're talking about this, and lots of people on the left would talk about this because he obviously is not right, but he is 79 years old, and I think more of this is his typical buffoonery and trolling. I don't know how much of this is actually declined beyond what you might see in just about any 79-year-old. I think Biden's was different, and again, the same left tended not to pay attention to that because he had more cases of like shaking hands with the empty air and really not seem to know where he was. And Trump, of course, BS's all the time, and you don't know how much of that is an act or not. But I mean, everything he says at this point is disturbing because it's just much of it doesn't make it. Why is he talking about that? And again, this is no answer whether it's Trump or any other Republican. Yes, Jasmine Crockett is horrible. She's an actor. Have you heard her talk? She can speak English perfectly. She doesn't Ebonics act. That's what should be the thing. Why are you acting stupid in Congress? Is that the way you want black people to sound? I mean,
it's not acting, Don. It's not stupidity. That woman is really, really smart.
That's what I said. She is. She's doing her own personality.
Switching, Don. She's speaking in a way that she would amongst wherever she lives.
I understand that, but I think if you're a public figure, you should encourage people not to try to talk as intelligently as they can. AOC, I don't know what she was.
Can we have the same energy for Lindsey Graham and all the people from the South that talk like this when they're talking about? If we have the same energy for that, then I'm fine with it.
Well, of course, he's about. I don't know what his real accent is. He has kind of a. I mean, I'm certainly not a Lindsey Graham fan. I think he's, as Tucker Carlson has said, Trump is endorsing him. If Lindsey Graham is reelected again by South Carolina Republicans, then everyone ought to really question the legitimacy of the electoral process or the legitimacy of even letting people vote. Because he doesn't, he clearly should not have any. South Carolina's a pretty conservative state. Why would Republicans vote for him? That makes no sense. This guy it represents nothing that they claim to want. But anyhow, no, I just think that his concentration on AOC and again, I think he's concentrating on the other installed people. He pays a lot of attention to AOC, who's not at his level. She's a second-term congressman, and I think she's still 35, 36, something like that. Why is he paying attention to her? Because again, I think it's the same kind of thing. They're paying attention to other puppets, and Trump is, he also, I think that's the same conversation. It was the same setup in a doorway where he started talking about he didn't think he was going to go to heaven. So I don't know what the hell he's talking. Remember, he said, it doesn't look like I'm going to go to heaven. It's like, what are you talking about? I mean, I don't understand anything he's doing at this point, anything he's saying. And this part of the Trumpenstein project is a complete mystery to me. I have no idea what he's doing, but I do know the election showed in Virginia, we saw it here, where we had a DEI project. The right has DEI projects just like the left does. The black woman that ran against Abigail Spanberger, who should have been really easy to beat. This is a former CIA woman, and I've heard all kinds of things about her, but it's a horrible record in Congress. She's our governor now because they ran a Herschel Walker type DEI candidate against her. I don't know what she stood for. I never heard her say anything. But did they? Okay, we're going to elect you because you're Republican. And of course, nobody elected her, and they also elected some black guy on the left side who publicly fantasized about murdering his opponent and having the kids murdered too. This is a while back. And I don't know if the Republican running against him even figured out a way to bring that up, but you have to have an answer. You have to have what is your view? We know what the Democrats stand, the woke Democrats stand for. They have principles. I think they're twisted and a lot of times evil, but they tell you what they stand for.
Right.
What do conservatives stand for? I don't know what they stand for now. You can't be against DEI and nominate people like Herschel Walker and some of the other black people they found because they're obviously being, they're not there for merit either. You're just looking for a black face so that people will say, "Oh, cool, he's a black Republican." You can't be for America first and place Israel's interest above any other and continue to funnel money to Ukraine. They have no base. And it was interesting that Trump mentioned Rubio as a presidential candidate. This is little Marco. This is the one who inferred penis about Trump's micro penis, and Trump, no problem there. My hands are big, and that kind. I mean, this is the same guy that did that,
Right.
and now he's the guy he thinks would be the heir to him. This guy's never had a MAGA rhetoric in his life. He's a typical establishment globalist rhino figure, and that's what. Why didn't Trump mention RFK Jr.? Why didn't he mention Tulsi Gabbard? He didn't mention them. He's on the verge of firing them in case they ever actually do anything good. So yeah, it's a shame because I hope people see through it, and I hope something happens with the Republican Party after this because when they realize this is not the answer, and we need some kind of real reform. So, but until then, I'm gonna wait and see what happens in New York, but I don't see how the guy can do a worse job than what they're already doing.
Hey, man, everything's gonna fall apart here. Everything is just gonna completely fall apart.
Yeah.
All right, give me your thoughts, Mr. Graves, and then we're getting out of here.
Well, I agree with Don. I agree with you. I think Donald Trump, he's just an actor. That's nothing new. And I'm actually I'll be honest, I'm getting more scared because I just thought maybe it was the left saying that Donald Trump was like, the whole Hitler thing and everything. But I'm seeing more and more, like every day, like these different things in the news that is making me think that maybe he really could be a threat. And I'm not sure what Don would say or if he would agree or not. But yeah, I don't know, Billy Ray. I don't know. Like, do we have any hope? Like coming in, like the future?
Of course, there's hope. Of course, there's hope.
Right.
It's just gonna get bad before it gets better. Listen,
Right.
man, we're not the first to go through this. It's just the first time for us. So it's like, oh God, and some people are still in denial. They're sitting there freaking twiddling their thumbs with their fingers up their ass, trying to figure out what the fuck is going on.
Right.
And to them, I say, wake the fuck up quickly. But things are going down. Yeah, we're gonna be fine, bro. I mean,
I hope so.
Things are gonna go down. Things are not gonna be good. Things are gonna get rough. But that's what we're here for, right? We gotta live it, experience it, and learn from it, and love the experience because that's why we were put here. That's why God has put us here, and hopefully we get to learn from the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? Hopefully more good than anything else, but bad and ugly is inevitable, and that's it. You just take it, learn from it, try to fix it. Try to do good by you and yours. Try to lead by example. Of course, there's hope, and the resistance starts right here in New York City, whether you like it or not. You better learn to love it, baby. Stop hating on New York. Join us. All right. Join us to resist this piece of filth.
I love New York. I love New York.
Thank you. I love New York too. Don Jeffries, the legendary. How are you, sir? Tell the people where they can find you.
Sure. Well, first of all, I want to remind people, I want to give a promo tonight. I'm on the great RB Hand, the former Canadian trucker who, they fined a great deal. They punished him for being part of that convoy up there. A great guy. I'm on his show quite a bit. So tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern on his Beyond the Pale Rumble channel, you can catch live. Look at I have shared the stuff on my Twitter and everything. People look at it. I'm going to be on there with Salim Mansour again, too. One of the incredible scholars, and we have a mutual admiration society. The guy's a big shot. He was a big shot in the Republican Party for years, and then obviously, if you listen to him now, you know why he's no longer welcome there. But tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern on Herbie Ham's Beyond the Pale Rumble channel. Check out it. It's going to on the brink of Armageddon, I think he's calling it. So we'll have our usual great discussion.
On the brink of Armageddon. That's a good name considering what we're experiencing right now. Tell them your Substack. Tell them everywhere else, Don.
Absolutely, yeah. My Substack, that's the only place I'm not being shadow banned. I think. I don't know. Sometimes I question that too. But it's DonaldJeffries.substack.com. I protest just like my podcast. And you subscribe to me there. That's the best way to support me. Of course, my books are out there. I have 10 books out there, and you can search for me and find out all about them.
All right, fantastic. We are 166 strong across platforms, 167. God bless everybody who's tuning in wherever you're tuning in. We appreciate you. And to the thousands that tune in over on the podcast, what's up with you? I tend to leave you guys out sometimes because, it's not live, but we appreciate all of you that listen over there. Thank you so much. Chris Graves, what's up, brother?
Yeah, just check out Don Jeffries' Substack, and we need a push for his novel, The Simulators, to become some kind of a Netflix series. And I'm still pushing for that. And Billy Ray, give my best to Clyde Lewis, please. And buy from Gold, Wise Wolf Gold and Silver.
Fantastic. We'll do all of that. My name is Billy Ray Valentine, and I come to you from the Bronx, New York City. Ground zero for the resistance, ladies and gentlemen. It starts here. Join us because we need you. We need all of you. It is one country. Stop hating on other parts of the country. I love Texas. I love Florida. I love Mississippi. I love Oklahoma. I love wherever you're from because it's the United States and it's all beautiful. It's different, but it's beautiful. To deny the beauty of New York and what New York brings to this country, to this nation, to these people is fooling yourself. We don't have to like everything about all these other spots, but at least give credit where credit is due. It's the capital of the freaking world. All right. People pay thousands of dollars to live in a closet up here. They've been saying, oh, they're leaving New York. They're leaving New York. They've been saying that for freaking 15 years at least. Ain't nobody leaving New York. And if you do leave New York, it's because you was a baby back bitch and you couldn't take it. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. And not all of you, I understand some of us have gone down to Florida and gone down to New Jersey for a better life, but we're still New Yorkers at heart. And some of us keep, properties here. It's difficult to live up here. It's not cheap. It's a lot of work, and I understand we get to a certain age and people want to go somewhere else and just relax, but it's America. And there are people from all walks of life here. And that's what I think is so beautiful about it. I love it. And I wouldn't trade it in for anything. So that's it. Join us for the resistance, Guerrilla Underground, 7 p.m. Eastern every Sunday on my X and on my YouTube channel, Guerrilla Underground. Now, if you look it up, it'll be the first thing to come up. So you look at Guerrilla Underground and you will see the black gorilla head silhouette with the green hue around it. It'll be the first thing that comes up now as we keep putting more content up there. I haven't really promoted it and I haven't put any more content up beyond the show that I do on Sundays, but that will change so we can push it along a little bit further. So go subscribe. We're going live over there and we're going live, of course, on my X. And I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow evening, Lord willing. Okay. Everything's going to be fine. Just we need to, wake up. Don, what's up? What are we doing? We can't play any music anymore. What are we going to play? What are we going to do?
You want to do a cappella, Don?
I want that down.
we gotta start sourcing good cover songs. Like if you have a band and you guys do good cover songs, send it to us. I'm gonna be brutally honest. You guys are brutally honest with me, so I'm gonna be brutally honest with you about your crappy band. But we will play it if it's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Don, you did a whole bunch of cover songs back in the day. Like, do you have one
Yeah.
off the top of your
Well,
mind?
I need to. Yeah, my guitar's not even. One day I'm going to go online and play some songs. I don't. God knows what I'd sound like now because it's been so damn long. But I did used to. My voice, I think it sounded a little bit like Tom Petty. It's probably what I liked him about.
Ooh,
So, it's probably, I think, I don't know. Maybe people say, "What the hell are you talking
that'd be
about?"
dope. Don, I
Yeah.
think the people want to hear that. We got to do a Christmas special of
Oh, yeah.
America Unplugged. Oh, that's
I got to do a lot of rehearsing and a lot of practicing for.
Let's do. I want to hear it, and I know the people want to hear it. Listen,
Yeah.
it is the Christmas season. We are officially in Christmas season. I'm so happy. It's just the greatest, and that's another thing. If you're ever going to come to New York, come to New York for Christmas. It's beautiful. It's the freaking greatest.
Jeffrey's under the mistletoe. That's the album.
Yo, Jeffrey's under the mistletoe, December 23rd. We're not gonna do the 24th or the 25th. Jeffrey's under the mistletoe, playing the greatest hits: Elvis Costello, Tom Petty, and we'll take requests. It sounds fantastic. I can't wait. But anyway, it is Christmas Twilight Zone marathon coming up. Thanksgiving is going to be fantastic. I can't wait. And of course, the Christmas season, giving out presents and being with your loved ones. I love it. It's a happy time. Let's be happy.
Yep.
Let's be with one another. Okay, Everybody Wants to Rule the World cover this week. This is a pretty good one, I think. Let me see if it even plays. Why is it not playing? There it is. All right. See you guys tomorrow night if you so choose. Be good.